Whether you are looking to build a new career or kickstart that new idea that you've got,
Microsoft Reactor connects you with the developers and startups that share your goals.
Learn new skills, meet new peers, and discover the latest in technology.
Events are running around the clock, so join us anytime, anywhere.
Reactors are communities to connect. We want you to meet real developers and entrepreneurs just like you. Here you can get skilled up and learn from our product experts in the Microsoft Cloud and in open source. So watch us on demand and share your own perspective as we live stream in communities all around the world.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. Many of you are already familiar with Reactor and regularly attend our sessions. For those joining us for the first time, Microsoft Reactor is a platform where we host online and in-person events for our community. Reactor is a place where developers, students, startup, and leaders, they come together to meet, connect, and learn. Our speakers present the latest emerging technology trends and deliver top-notch content to the Reactor audience. I would kindly request you to scan the QR code and register yourself for the Reactor session. But before we begin today's session, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, be kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. But for now, I will hand over to my colleague Lakshit to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. There
Yeah,
you
hi,
go.
hi Rashmita. Hello everyone. How
Hi.
are you all doing?
Awesome. Lakshit, the floor is all yours. Let me quickly get your slide up. Lakshit, I can't see the presentation. Can you just quickly share your presentation so that I can bring that up for you?
Perfect. I hope this is visible now.
Maybe in a couple of seconds, I will see your presentation. Yes. Yeah. So.
Perfect. Hello everyone.
Okay. The
Welcome.
floor is all yours. I'll be at the backstage.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Rashmita, for that quick, lovely introduction. Hello everyone. Uh, this is Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session on community leadership opportunities with Microsoft. This is Lakshit Pant, your host for today. I just quickly verify with Rashmita. Is my screen visible? Is this screen visible to you?
Not yet, Lakshit. It's showing blank right now. Maybe just do you want to? Correct. It's visible now, Lakshit. But it's not in the presentation mode though.
1 second. I'll quickly. Yep. I hope this is visible.
Yep. Yeah. Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Hello
Lakshit,
everyone.
it's visible.
Great. Great. Hello everyone. Welcome to today's session. This is Lakshit Pant. I'm the community program manager in India. I'm looking at managing of the Microsoft MVP community, that is Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Program in India, meant for working professionals, like minded individuals, technical experts like you all. And today we'll be covering a lot more. We'll be having our esteemed MVP mentors here with us. So this is me, Lakshit Pant, your CPM headed from Intuning from India, and we have Kasam Shaikh from a Microsoft MVP in AI category, and we have Navika here, Microsoft MVP in Azure category. And all together, we are going to discuss about what are the opportunities in the industry and how community can actually help you out in your career, in your journey, and what are the opportunities that we have from a quick agenda perspective. We'll be learning about what community is all about, how community really helps you a lot, how community helps can help you in 2024 in the context of building yourself a quick future. What are the best practices for sharing that you can always look after in the community? what are the leadership opportunities from Microsoft per se we have for you. If you are already if you're a technical expert, if you're sharing your learnings to the community, what kind of opportunities which we as a Microsoft bring you to the table, which can offer you a lot more benefits and help you build and drive a lot more engagements in the community programs. And regarding then we'll speak more about the MVP program, what makes you ready for the MVP program, what kind of contributions do we really value, what are the contributions, what are the type of candidates we are actually looking for. And then the highlight for today is the Microsoft MVP mentorship circle that we are launching today in the today for the very first time in 31 years, where a set of MVPs have come together to help you out, to all the aspiring candidates, to help build your to build your communities, to start your leadership journey from today onwards. And this is something that I'm very proud to announce you today. And I'll quickly put on the link in the comment section as well. So this is something that I'm very keen about. So for anyone who aspire to be an MVP or is looking forward to start your journey in Microsoft in a community format, this is the link that you should look after. Maybe Rashmita, I'll just put it in the chat. Can you just put this link in the comment section? Perfect. And I'll continue presenting my slides. So this is the high level agenda for today, which we'll be speaking about. And I would like to invite Kasam sir and Navika over this stage for the quick discussion around it so that we can kick off today's call. Hello.
Hi everyone. Super excited to be here, and thank you for having us. And we're excited to share our MVP journeys with you all.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Navika, for coming to the stage. Thank you so much. Kasam sir, are you there?
I'm audible now.
Yes, you are. You are audible.
Okay. It's a common Teams glitch, keeping ourselves mute and speaking. Okay, so hello everyone. Thank you for this connect, Lakshit, and thank you everyone for joining, and thank you for having me here. We'll be happy to share and have this discussion, interesting discussions. Yeah.
Perfect. It's my pleasure to host both of you. Always, and to quickly kick off our discussions around. I would really want to start from the foundation that for anything that we do in our life, that is learning, right? Because apart from whatever else we do, right, it's very important for anyone in the industry. If you are a working professional, even if you are a student, doesn't matter in which career stage you are, learning is very much important. And we always explore about what are the new trends in the market, what are the new things that are going in the market, and what could be the possible ways which can help us out in somewhere in the career. And we always seek something that could really help out from a resource perspective. And Microsoft has done a really good job, I'll say, from bringing together all these resources at one place, that is Microsoft Learn resource that has been provided to you, that is like a foundation of the community. I would like to ask Kasam sir a quick question, like for someone who is having a substantial amount of experience, what do you think, how important it is for them to keep upskilling themselves, and what do you think, what are the relevant areas where one could upskill themselves in 2024, in a context where we are seeing generative AI, all these co-pilots in the era? And how do you believe how these platforms like Microsoft Learn really helps in this regard?
Okay, so very first thing, like whether you are an experienced professional or a novice in this industry, learning and upgrading your skills is very important. So it's for right from the beginner to expert, the learning should continue, and the upskilling of your whatever skills. It's not, you should not limit yourself to any of the skills as such. But yes, that is a very important step in your growth, whether it's your career growth, any of the professional area. Learning and upgrading yourself is very important. Second thing, you said about Microsoft Learn. So yes, Microsoft Learn is one of my first stop for, even for me, for whenever I hear of any of the new technology or any of the new services which I come across in any of the announcement from Ignite, Build, or even if I'm dealing with any of my project work in my organization, and I come across some stack which is from Microsoft, and I directly jump to learn, because Microsoft Learn, this area, this the subject wise syllabus, these are more curated by the experts, and it is not about how the things, it is all about what, when, and why you should use it. So that gives us very very holistic view of whatever service you're trying to use, or whatever technology you want to use, right? It from data and AI, or .NET stack, Java, even the SDKs which you use, the developers uh, uses the SDKs for the services, every minute thing. And I personally feel the fundamentals are very important. They are the key things to know about any of the services, and that is what you get from Microsoft Learn. So this is my first stop. It's a bookmark for me. Whenever I come across something, I get confused. The first stop is Microsoft Learn, and then I dig out for some more resources. So yeah, so
Wow,
hope
yeah.
yeah.
Absolutely amazing to hear from a community leader like you, for someone with that incredible experience, saying this out loud. How Microsoft Learn has been helping out in the career journey, and how it really actually helps. And what I actually admire about Microsoft Learn is the hands-on it is the hands-on things that
Right.
labs that it provides, right? Because the learning parts, the certifications, everything, module, everything you can find over the internet, but eventually everything comes down to how actually are you building the actual things? Are you actually are you actually debugging something? Actually building something, right? And that's where I believe Microsoft Learn has been really instrumental to help every one of us here in our journey. And from a reference perspective, since the geo revolution, technology has been in a boom, right? In 2015, I still remember when geo just popped up and they just started the internet revolution. It was like something we never dreamt of living, this much accessibility to internet resources and everything, right? And since then, the learning, the technology kept growing. I from a fresher's perspective, from a career perspective, all the Indian parents are looking after having their children's getting educated in the technological areas. Navika, from a perspective of a young leader, right? Because you come from a MLSA background, you have been into that journey where you stepped in the college, then you became an MLSA, Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador, another program of Microsoft from leadership, community leadership per se. Then you eventually outsmarted everyone in the MLSA program, and eventually transitioned as an MVP and doing phenomenal contributions here. So how do you think, how important is it to leverage your skills as an individual along with the community, and what should be the right mindset of a student, maybe someone who is just starting their technology journey in 2024?
Absolutely. Thank you for the question. We all are in an era right now wherein technology is sort of evolving at a rapid pace, right? And along with that, it is also opening doors of so many opportunities out there in terms of different technical job roles. We talk about AI, like businesses are integrating AI in their work. We talk about, and since the last couple of few years, it's just taken over next level, right? Then we talk about there's so many other technical stacks that are coming in, and they are being quite stable as well. For example, cloud computing, that's one of the prominent role out there, right? So businesses are moving their on-prem infrastructure to cloud because of the growth and the scalability that it offers. Now, and there are a couple of others as well. But the whole idea is that along with all these technical stacks that are coming up, right, or the technical new tech trends that are coming up, the demand for the associated roles are also increasing in the job market. So I think the freshers are in a great position right now because they have so many opportunities out there for them, right? But
Wow.
I would really recommend them to leverage that to the fullest. Now the question comes, which so many people usually ask me when I do events, that how do we do that? How do we get started, right? So there are a lot many ways. So firstly, I think we have a lot many online resources available, right? There is a lot of awareness now. Secondly, we have just spoken about Microsoft Learn, correct? So I think that is a go-to place for all of us, literally. So we have so many technical parts, learning parts and modules over there, so you can just dive deep into it and learn about it. then if you're a fresher and if you're in a university and you're pursuing a technical course, I would really recommend you to go through once by the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, because even I started my journey from there. It's a technical community, and maybe I would be talking about it a bit more in a couple of minutes with you all. But that really gives you a lot of exposure, wherein you get to know that what are the opportunities out there, what are the trending technical trends that are there, and accordingly you can, choose something of your interest and then hold on to it and start building yourself up in one particular technical field, and get on certifications. If you go to Microsoft Learn, you have learning paths which train you for certifications as well. So for example, you have it for Azure, you have it for AI, etc., etc. So just build yourself up over there. And just to wrap it up, I would say that a couple of years back, there were just a couple of roles that were prominent in the IT industry, right? I'm talking from the job roles perspective. But now we have so many. If you're good at AI, you have AI engineer, you have ML engineer. If you're good at cloud, any cloud platform, you can become a cloud engineer. Even in there, you have so many branches, right? You can become a cloud infrastructure engineer, network engineer, system engineer, so on and so forth. Then if you're definitely good at data structure algorithm or coding, you can go ahead for software engineering developer. Then you have front end developer, back end developer. Then if you're really interested in community work and as well as technical, then you have developer advocates, you have community managers. I mean, the list literally goes on. So you have so many opportunities out there, but it's all about just channelizing your path the right way and paving it in the right manner. But yeah, to get started with, I would definitely recommend you to join a technical community like MLSA, at least if you're in a university phase right now, so that you're just able to get the good amount of exposure which you should ideally be getting in order to set your career right.
Wow, what a kind plethora of thoughts coming out from there from our community leaders. And when Navika has mentioned about the community, I cannot stop thinking about my journey. When I was in my college years, I started exploring about the communities without the odd ways. Well, I was still figuring out what are the best ways how I can learn skill, because once you find these resources, it's very tough to stick to one. And as a fresher, as a freshman student, right, you do not exactly know what are the right places for you, what could be the exact path for you, or what route do you want to be an AI engineer, or do you want to be a backend developer, or am I good at could be good at a front end engineer, or what can be the possible way, what could be the possible jobs that could suits me, right? And I cannot think of anything better than community to find out that answer, because you get to meet a lot of people. And I'll just put out a link here in the slide in front of you, right? Networking with a like-minded professional in the industry leader, because this is something I really admire about whatever I have achieved in my personal life, right? I always believe it's just because of the of the people around me, right? They have been so good in helping me out. And how do you find these people? It comes all down to the meetups, to the tech events happening around, there are so many user groups that that are there by led by MVPs, that are led by independently by other user stakeholders in India, by Microsoft and other user groups. You can just be part of it, look after the ways how you can just be part of all these technical events, right? And we cannot miss of absolutely the social media, the power of social media that we have in 2024, right? I believe if you are not in a way that you are not utilizing your LinkedIn profile, that you are missing out on a major chunk of your life, right? LinkedIn is something that I always care about. That it is up to date. I'm just putting some whatever I'm learning, I'm just keeping on to that. And from a perspective of learning, and how community can really help well learn it from more, because as someone, so Navika, this is again a kind of a follow-up question for you. I mean, as someone who has been a leader in all your college years, right, how do you see all these community activities benefiting college student? When we, because a lot of time college student has read about their how to manage their time and whatnot, right, with the college studies, with the attendance systems and everything, right? So how do you see these college community activities, all these meetups, all these posting on LinkedIn, sharing and learning in public really helps a student and an individual?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for such an amazing question. I think here is where you'll get most of your answers, because I always say that Microsoft tech communities have played a very, very integral part in my journey, be it the MLSA program years back or the Microsoft MVP program now. So, I would really recommend all the university students pursuing the tech role to be a part of a tech community like MLSA. The reason being because it gives you a holistic growth, right? Something that, something that's apart from what from your university curriculum, right? So that is what tech communities give you. Like, for example, a couple of benefits. First is networking. You get to connect with like-minded peers, right? You will find so many people which comes from different technical background, and that's where you will get actual exposure. The next up is collaborative skills. When I was a part of the MLSA program, I recall a couple of MLSs from literally all over the globe. We sort of framed a team together for an internal hackathon. We had around 17 team members, which were like the largest ones out of the all the teams that were present. And we never knew each other before that. But only one thing that connected us was MLSA program, definitely. And secondly, our like-mindedness, right, and our passion towards technology and build something great. So that's what you get. Then I mentioned about holistic growth, right? Your presentation skills really improve when you deliver technical sessions, when you do technical events. You will see that difference in you, because in all of these things, when you at the end, we would be getting into IT industry, right? Like, if you're freshers, in a couple of years you will be getting into the industry. So all of these things will really add up to your personality in general, and it will also give you a holistic growth. And I think that's one of the great thing being a part of technical community. And one thing which I can never forget is the immense amount of learning that you will get. Like, for example, if you're a part of an MLSA program, you will get so many mentorship sessions inside within it. And these many opportunities. I know I'll just keep it short. I will not, because I can literally speak for hours and hours about it, but I just want to keep it very crisp. So I think joining a community like MLSA Tech Community, I think that's the best way to get started, and it can really mold your future in a great way. And yeah, I think I will just I'll just stop here about the MLSA program. I think I will be talking about more about the MVP program in the later questions as well. But I think, yeah, I think that's how you can pave your path, because um, in one line I can say this can really prepare you for your future phase in the IT industry, because you will learn so many things while being in the program, that it really prepares you and also makes you better from the other candidates, we can say, in a way, uh, as a job, for a job preference as well, because it really adds up to your personality, all in
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, absolutely. And when I see community as a powerful tool for the experts like in the industry, being a user group owner, you, Kasam sir, you have been driving the DSJ community for so long, right? You have been driving DSJ community for so long, and you have been working on all these years as all like working professionals. I would really like to know how about how has been your experience and what does community actually mean to you? Because when we speak about the working professionals community, that's the agenda for today. Eventually, the MVP program, and the people who are actually interested in the MVP program, how one should see community as in for because for students it's pretty easy to learn to share what they are learning, but what kind of from where one should start if one is a working professional? What could be the first article they can author? What could be what could be the possible session that they can design, or how to decide the topic, what to share in the community and what not to, as a working professional that you see in the industry?
Okay, very interesting question. So this is what I always get a message over the LinkedIn and WhatsApp, like about the topics, what to share and all. So the best thing I always advise them is to, if you are a working professional and want to write an article, try to write what problem you have been faced and how you solved in your day to day working time, like in your organization. For example, you had some problem statement and you tried a lot of things, and then you found the solution for it, and it's now on production. So this entire journey, right from the problem statements to what all things you did to get those problems solved, till the time you made it resolved and you have it in a production, this journey is very important, because this is something which the audience like to hear, like what are live challenges they will face. So
Right.
whenever there is a working professional or some experts comes to when we have a discussion of what we will be having in our meetups or webinars which we conduct. So this is what rather than having how the things are like about the services, it's like what, when, and why. So that
Wow.
remains, that is very important. Why to use that service, when to use that service, and what all things can be used, cannot, should not be used. How is a
Right.
part of a 5 minutes demo, like this is what we do. But very important step is what, when, and why. So this is
Wow.
where we try to frame the things, and we come up with some of the basically the agendas of our meetups and webinars. So for working professional, yes. And when it comes to I know that's not the question, but sometimes it's like what I think is these communities are the platforms to present yourself, and what you have learned, have you understood it or not. Because
Yeah.
sharing the thing, you see, you're not teaching someone, it's about sharing
Yeah.
the things.
Yeah.
Everyone doesn't know everything. It's all like something will come from the participants, something will come from the speakers, and that is
Yeah.
how the community and the meetups get grow.
Yeah.
Sometimes I remember few of my attendees in my events, they are now global speakers, and now they are an MVPs. So
Yeah.
I have seen their journey right from as a part of attendees till now they are representing in a global stage. So it really works, and this is how the thing should be. It's not about what is ABC. It's everything is there on all the resources are available. Everyone knows what is this. Should not get into those stuff. It should be always how that particular service will help to solve your problem statement. This is what you should always keep in mind.
Yeah, and to all our audience, this is how this is how the critical information it becomes when we speak to all the leaders like Kasam sir, because the one thing that he really highlighted, and I always admire, you believe that you are a gem, and you believe that every other individual that is there in the community is a gem, because if you can see yourself as a gem, and then you can see the worth of everyone else in the community. And community is more about many to many conversion. You are not there to just delivering something like one to many stuff, right? It has to be many to many, and that's what the community means. Now, just keeping ahead our conversion to to the program, the program that we really have, the Microsoft most valuable program. And we have one of the program. It's the most prestigious program that we have. It's been 31 years since the inception of the program. And the idea, when how the and I'll just give you a quickly context how this got started. And it was just about a bunch of individuals trying to solve or trying to debug a lots of queries on Microsoft Technical Community forums. So there used to be a similar platform like Microsoft Technical Community Forum. There used to be a couple of individuals who used to answer regular queries about different like about .NET queries, regarding Azure related queries and whatnot. So they used to answer those queries at that point of time, and that's how then the Microsoft realized, okay, this is something that the people really admire. This could be leveraged to something really great program, right? That's how the Microsoft MEV program really got into inception. And today we have these amazing, exceptional community leaders having their respective technical expertise. We have around 11 award categories which you can always explore, and it's more about how. And when we speak about the benefits, apart from all the benefits, about all the perks that I see, that is the credits, vouchers, and whatnot, right? The main and the important thing that I always admire is the early access to Microsoft products and roadmaps, and the previews that are not available for anywhere else, that you cannot get it on anywhere else. And Kasam sir and Navika will always agree to this. The access to product groups is the most important thing that you get as an MVP program, as a benefit you get, because you get to speak to someone who is creating the product 6 months or 8 months prior to actual product release, right? So this is something that becomes very critical. You interact directly with the engineering teams, you speak directly with the leaders, you get to interact with lots of technical communities at different community forums, a lots of Microsoft led community tech events. And we also in the MVP program, we also have MVP Global Summit that happens every year in Redmond, and next year it's happening in 25th of March. So that you get to know about, you get to meet similar like-minded community leaders across the world, imagine, right? So this is something of real value that I believe that MVP program provides, and that will always give you, a more than, that will always give you a push or maybe additional benefit in your career. And absolutely, there are always benefit recognitions like MVP award kits, digital swags, badges for everyone, so that you can always, we do not want you just skeptical, just sit out there and just brag about it, but we want you to go out there in the social media and just share your badges and whatnot regarding the MVP program. Now, my question comes, because I really wanted to hear from you, both the MVPs. How has been your experience? And I'll come to Kasam sir first. As an first AI MVP in India, how do you think this MVP program has helped you in your professional career? And what do you think? What has been the best part of this entire all these years for you being an MVP?
Okay, first let me correct. I'm not the first one. I'm first among the first five, but not the first one from India. But yes, as you said, the most important part is the early access to the products. Okay, sometimes see, when you work on some products or some services, there is an always a question comes in to your mind, like, if at all this feature has been a part of this product, it would be best. It is all as per your own use case. And I think being an MVP, this is very much possible because I can share my idea to the product team, and when it get accepted, that is a altogether different happiness. Like, okay, what I was thinking is now a part of this product and will be used by the wider audience kind of. So yes, the early access, plus they listen to you. Okay, the product team is not about showing, it's all about your feedback, your experience of how this product is running, your experience of how this product can be more useful, or can be make can be uh, more seamless for having it getting infused in your existing things. So many things in this part is an important aspect. Apart from this, yes, it's always a pleasure to be recognized as MVP, because this is something, it's not an award, it's a reward. Okay,
Yeah.
it's not something uh, you can achieve. It's something which is being given to you as a reward of your passion. So anything which comes as a part of your passion is always an happiest part. I can speak whole day on MVP program. I would like my uh, peer Navika to know more about it, because I think she is coming from that MLSA background, and you know, being a student leader and then coming into this program, that difference, I'm really interested to hear about that.
Yeah, and just to add up to that question, right, Navika, I have additional question for you, because as a woman leader, how do you see yourself, managing your time as a woman leader, and what advice do you offer for all the women out there in the industry, for the, how they should look after the MVP program, and how's been your experience in a nutshell with the program entirely?
Uh, Thank you for the question. I get that so often, and great to address over here. Firstly, just adding up to what Kasim said, right? Microsoft MVP program. It is like an honor. It is like a privilege for all of us, which also gets a lot of responsibility on our shoulders because we are representing the MVP community, right? So that's definitely there, and I always say that it's a blessing to be a Microsoft MVP, definitely because of the reasons that you guys just discussed. Coming on to Lakshit's question, I have started with my community work, like I have been doing community work for more than a decade right now. So it's not something that I've off lately started. So when we talk about time management, I have started off with community service right from school days. I continued that during my university days, and I'm still continuing that as a working professional. So in a way, I can say that the phases of life have transitioned, but my passion for community service still remains the same, and it is consistent, and I'm trying to sustain that through every phase of life. So I think that's with everyone. If you're passionate about something, you really don't have to make time for it, right? When you do something that you love, you don't have to make time to that, and that automatically fits into your schedule. And I have been multitasking that right from the beginning, so I don't find it. I don't take it as a stress. It's more of a stress buster rather for me, I would say. So it just falls in place all the time. Coming on to the second part of your question, that what's the advice that I would like to give to the woman in tech in general? I always say that please pave your own path, and do not follow anyone else's footsteps, because that is what I have done. I have not followed the crowd at all. I've just paved my own path, and because at the end it is your journey and you have to make the best of it, right? We should not be going by someone else's journey, because we need to understand this, that everyone has different aims, goals and ambitions in their lives, and then most importantly, everyone has different circumstances, right? So we need to concentrate on our journey and make the best out of it. And something that is very important is that there's nothing known as failure. Okay, give it a try, give it a chance, and what's worst gonna happen? You're gonna learn, right? So there's nothing known as failure in my dictionary. Either you succeed or you learn. That adds up to your experience. So yes, please pave your own path, make the most out of it, and give it a try, give it a chance, and follow your dreams. I think that's one advice that I would definitely give to every woman in tech out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And for everyone to look after, as who is looking MVPs, as a resource person, as a individual to seek advice from, I would say we have a lot more individuals who have been doing some really amazing work in the industry. And this is how you can find all the MVPs in aka.ms MVP find MVP link. This is the link that you can look after, and I would ask, request Rashmita if you can just paste this link over right to the chat. So we have around, we are in 50 in India. We have around, so in India we have around 128 MVPs overall, and combined in Middle East and India we have around 164 MVPs in 15 different categories. So this is how it typically works, and I would say you can always look after seeking advice from all these MVPs. Reach out to them. There, all the social handles are always already mentioned over there. Whatever you are seeking, because that is something very critical for the entire MVP program. If you wanted to be an MVP, you wouldn't want to seek out some mentorship, some advice for someone who has already done that respective, who have already excelled that respective award, right? So that's what I will say. Now moving ahead with the further thing, that if you are seeking MVP program as something, that if you are already doing some kind of community work, how do you really find out that you are actually ready for the program? I'll say these are the couple of questions you might ask yourself at some point of time, that do you have an interest in Microsoft product ecosystem? Because absolutely it's all about Microsoft. It's more about, we always welcome a lot more open source contribution, a lot more different ways of contributing to the community. But again, at some point of time, it's about your technical expertise in respective Microsoft award category, right? So do you have that interest, that nudge of learning or building something in Microsoft product ecosystem? And because we genuinely believe that as Kasam sir has mentioned earlier, it's not an award, it's an reward, right? It's an reward for what you have been doing for all these years. So we look after 12 months of, it's an entire year of your technical contributions that you have been doing. Now these contribution could be, we'll speak more about it, but it could be anything, right? And the most important part of these technical contribution, it has to be non-monetary, right? There is a very much big difference between your business presentations and these technical contributions. That the point that Navika has mentioned about the passion that you bring to the table as a community leader, that that works as a stress buster, right? It has to be that kind of contribution which you are doing just on your own will, right? Just sharing out your learning in public, no transaction and whatnot. And the final and the last thing that I will say, that is nomination, because you cannot actually apply for the MVP program. You get to be nominated by an existing MVP or Microsoft full-time employee. We'll speak more about it later. If you have some confusion about the nominator and whatnot, we'll speak more about it in the further slides. And when it comes to the valued contributions, I'll quickly walk through this slide, and I'll ask Kasam sir and Navika as well about what kind of contribution one could look after. I will always give a better preference to quality over quantity, because it's not about you are writing hundreds of articles, or maybe doing plenty of sessions, and involving your time in seeking communities. But it's more about what quality are you bringing to the table, the kind of expertise, because it's a professional award. It's not something that has been just given to something who have been driving a basic something around the basics, or very technical, very generic stuff. Its MVP program is meant for the expert in the industry, in the respective category. So I will say, think quality over quantity, and just try to build, take your time. It could be, it could be, one article every month, or maybe one session, one article every month. It could be anything, right? Then the second thing that comes to contribution, valued contribution, is technical depth over high impressions. At Microsoft, MVP program, we do not really bother about, are you an influencer, do you have a good following list, do you have a good LinkedIn followers, do you have a good set of likes on your XYZ post or article. No, it's not about your high impressions. It's all about the technical expertise, the technical depth you are bringing to the table. Because eventually MVPs at some point of time work as a as a testament to look after the future of the product. Who they are sometime a lot of time they work as a feedback resource person for the product groups, right? So look after bringing that the technical depth to the table. And when you are when you are just exploring of how to put these contributions in, just set up a context, and do not assume that we already know about this whenever you are sharing or activities. And this is something for who have been nominated already, who are going to add your contributions on, this is just post after nomination, the folks who are going to add your contributions on the on the portal. Just do not think that we already do not assume that we already know everything about you. Just set up the context, tell us how have you done it, what was the, for whom it was, what, why, when, and how you did it, right? And just add any URL and relevant links that you can, and aggregate all your activities into just one activity. That's what I will say, right? Now from a nomination perspective, because this is something that becomes very crucial for the entire MVP program, that I said, there can be two cases, there can be two types of candidates. You can belong to the first case, where you are already ready, the list that I have shown earlier, that you have been doing some community work for past couple of years, and you just got to know about the MVP program through this session or by any other means. So what you can do is reach out to any MVP or any existing MVP, a Microsoft full-time employer, and existing MVP, and share this link with them for the nomination, to nominate you for the MVP program. So this is for the people who are already ready, who have been doing this community work for all so many years. And if you feel you are ready, just go ahead and get yourself nominated. And then there comes the case number two, that is, if you are just exploring about the community programs, this is your first time exploring about the MVP Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Program, right? What you can do is, if you feel you are just 1 month, 2 month away, or maybe just 1-2 contributions away from that MVP program or MVP category, what you can do is just sign up to the MVP mentorship circle. And this is something that we are doing for the very first time in India, starting from India, that we are launching our set of MVPs. There are around about 80 to 85 MVPs who have signed up as an MVP mentors, and you will eventually reach out to them. You will have to find you will get the flexibility to find mentor of your own. So what you do is just fill out this form, choose your mentor. These mentors are there to help you, and just walk on the path that they advise you to do, right? This is something that I will all advise each one of you to look after this. And for a quick resource perspective, this is something that I will give eventually, if you sign up for the MVP mentorship circle program to the Microsoft Forms link, this slide will come eventually. Will share the slide deck with you, so do not worry about all the resources, right, that are written over here. But from a resource perspective, this is something that is for Microsoft, mvp.microsoft.com. You can learn more about it, about the MVP program here. If you are exploring about what could be the right category for you, right, the technological category, what could, in which, like I said, Kasam sir is an AI and MVP, Navika is an Azure MVP. So what are these different award categories do we have? You can find it, all the award categories right over here in this technology structure that we have created. And to follow us on socials, we just stay updated with all our social buzz that happens around. You can just follow us on our socials. Now I'll open the stage for Q&A. If you have any questions about the MVP program, just put out your questions there. We would be very happy to answer all your questions. And I'll stop sharing my screen and I'll come to the StreamYard if there is any questions out there in the StreamYard. Once again, I'll stop my screen and let's see if there are any questions. Perfect. Hello everyone. Okay. Which choose the bets? Yes. So Jaswant says yes, but we have overwhelming amount of resources. What are we supposed to choose? Which choose the best? So anyone would like to answer this question? So I guess he's referring about from learning perspective, which is the right resource, how to pick the right resource, and how to which resource can shoot the best to an individual. Anyone of you can just take this question. Can you please take it out?
I mean,
yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I actually get it what Jaswant is saying, and it's actually really overwhelming to see so many resources out there. But if I go back to one of my answers where I mentioned, it's very important to channelize your path the right way, correct? Because I do understand we have so many technical stacks out there, so many resources associated with that, and henceforth it is important to get into a community. And I think, like as I mentioned, right, joining a tech community, when you do that, firstly you get so much of exposure. The step one is that you need to choose that which technical stack interests you the most, right? That is the step one. And once you're sure about that, okay, so and so, like hypothetically for me it was cloud, and I maybe just missed out on the answer. Let me just let you know that it was the Microsoft Learn Student Ambassador program, which introduced me to the world of cloud computing. I mean, definitely I had a bit of background, but that's where I actually learned about Azure. And as it says, life takes a full circle. And today I'm working as an Azure cloud engineer. So you get my point? So I think that really helps you take that first step, understand that what interests you the most, and then follow that path, right? And then go ahead and then look for resources associated with that. If you're part of a technical community like MLSA, you will get so many resources within it only, right? Like you get so many events that are happening for the MLSAs, etc., etc. So you get a great opportunity to interact with your program managers and all, and get resources from there and attend some special events for yourself as well. So I think maybe I've just started off with this answering this question. If Kasam, you would like to add something more to it.
Yes, like you covered most of the part, but yes, like if you want to, actually validate among, we cannot say validations, but if you want to actually choose among the different resources, it is not like something is good, something is bad as such. Every learning, every resources brings you a learning, and learning will never harm you. It's all about what you want are actually you are getting it, and it is always best to whenever it comes to any of the Microsoft product or Microsoft services, it is always best to get to the Microsoft documentation or Microsoft Learn documentation. So there you will be having a kind of sort of more authenticated or originated sort of information. And then of course if you didn't understand some word or some terminology, you can of course go for the other resources which will make you more easy in understanding in the same. But I would prefer, it's my personal choice, I always prefer Microsoft Learn.
Yeah, perfect. What a answer to that question, right? And there is one question also by Amit Connect, and I would like to answer this question about how to validate someone's connect content over copying articles and whatnot. So I'll say whenever follow the right people, I'll say, right, Amit, this could the best thing that you can ever do on internet, right? Just try to follow the right people on the internet. There are so many expert, you cannot fake it to a larger extent, right? You have to be if you are out there as a content creator in this industry or as an expert in the industry of sharing your community learning, right, you cannot fake it to much extent, right? So you have to be very much stick to your content. You can regularly share. If you are regularly sharing is your expertise, you have to be very technical and whatnot. So I'll say LinkedIn is meant for learning and following more people. So do not hesitate to reach your limit of sending a connection request and follow the right people. I've already sent you this link, that is mvp.microsoft.com / find your MVP. So you can look after who all are the MVPs and find these MVPs if they can be the find the MVP in the right category for yourself, and you can just look after that from a perspective, right? Then Okay, we have a question from Parul. I have started blog and post there the solution of problem I face. Also, how to create to how to deploy various resources on Azure. Is that good to start? Uh, so maybe he's asking about do he he has started blogging and now he's also willing to bring more resources from deployment perspective. Is this good way to start from an Azure perspective, right? From an Azure category perspective, is it good for them to start from a hands-on perspective, deploy various resources and share more information about how to deploy XYZ service on Azure and whatnot? So Navika, you would like to answer this question?
I mean, yeah, firstly, a very good start in general, because it's always good to share your knowledge with the community. And if you're doing it, via blogs and creating videos or, maybe demos of how to deploy Azure resources, I definitely think that's a good start. And, in my opinion, I would always say it's about like how I think of it, right? The idea of contributions for me, it's always is like how are you impacting the community, right? What type of impact are you creating? And I think, as Lakshit just mentioned in one of his slide, and this is a very general answer, it's for Parul, yes, it's a great start, but I'm just adding an additional point that to what even Lakshit said, that quality over quantity, right? How are you even impacting one soul? That is what matters. And that's how even I look at it. It's like, even in my journey, I have been contributing ever since years till now. And it's always out of passion, out of, I try to focus on the visible inequalities in terms of learning and technology for the vulnerable. For example, that's what, my focus is. And at the end of the day, it boils to that, what type of impact are you creating? And then when it comes to these positions or accolades, I think it just becomes a byproduct of what you're doing out of passion, right? Like in my case, this is something that I have been doing since years, and I would continue to do even after, even for the next, I don't know how many years, right? So it would continue. So it's more about how passionate you are about what you do, and how are you trying to create an impact to the community. It's all about that. And I think all these recognitions and all these positions are just a byproduct of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
to add it, just yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
just yeah, I'm just adding one thing, right? Because Navika has said so many things, but she didn't. She has been very kind to didn't mention this. But Navika is someone who I look after as amazing contributor to the community, because she has been training visually impaired students, to multiple NGOs. She has actually trained with she has her students has actually passed Azure certification, AZ900, AI900. So imagine someone who is visually impaired passing all these certifications, what kind of achievement that is, right? So as in the MVP program, contributions like this actually matters. It shouldn't be like you have to be very much big influential, you have to make again similar kind of redundant content. That's what we do not want you to do. You can be make something like, if you are an expert in Python, right, you can make a Python. If you want to share your learning Python, you can make or draft the Python lectures in your local language, maybe whatever language you prefer, Bengali, Telugu. We have so many languages here in India, right? Whatever language that you prefer, look after building that knowledge base in your local community. So get that flavor of local community into it, right? This is what I will say. And please, Kasam sir, you are saying something, please go ahead.
Yeah, it was just to add, like, see, every start is a good start. Okay, so don't worry about where you're doing, what you're doing. The important thing is be consistent what you're doing. Okay, it's not about writing an article today and then checking your blog after 6 months. So this will not help. If you're started, it's very good. You started, ask your reader what they want. Like if you're writing, if you're doing this, how the resources can be added and all, ask them what all resources they want to know or understand. How this, for example, do you want to know what should be the next blog of mine? Keep an interaction with the readers. That will help you to create more and more content, more and more article, and it will create a big interest in your readers also. So that will definitely help. So best of luck if you are already started, and if you want, we can always connect over LinkedIn, and I will definitely help you out.
Yeah, perfect. Now we have again. So this has been answered earlier as well, but maybe if you both can cover this in a quick, in a quick way of how has being becoming an MVP benefited you in your career growth or the opportunities that have came your way. So maybe if you can focus more on the opportunities that has came across because of the MVP program, if you can highlight some of the activities, maybe it would be really great. Yeah, Navika, maybe you can go, or maybe yeah, Kasam sir, any one of you.
Please
Both
go
of you,
ahead.
I'll say. Yeah.
Yeah, Navika, you can go ahead. You can start.
With this. Okay. Um, okay, so the question was how has becoming an MVP benefited you in your career growth and opportunities that have come your way? Right, the safe. So as I just rightly mentioned a couple of minutes back, being a MVP, definitely it is an honor and privilege, and we get some great opportunities that comes our way. And I think it is just a byproduct of what we contribute out of passion, and that just comes as in. As a byproduct of it. So, a couple of opportunities, like for example, I am a Microsoft Most Valuable Professional in the Azure category. So, we get invitations for some big tech events, right, wherein we get some speaking opportunities out there. Or let's suppose, for example, the Microsoft, I have one of the currently running Microsoft Reactor series is at 900 with Navika. So we get those type of opportunities wherein we can share our knowledge with the larger community, with the working professionals as well as the freshers as well. So these are a couple of opportunities, and you could just conduct events. We can conduct events at, for example, like we just conducted, I believe, a couple of months back at one of the Microsoft offices in Delhi. So these are the type of opportunities usually we get. And the idea of these opportunities is that we are able to reach out to the community at large at different levels altogether. So yeah, I mean, we have been provided with some great opportunities, and we are super grateful for that. Over to you,
Yes,
Kasim.
yeah, yes, very much it benefits. There is no doubt on it. So I can give you a small example. Like when I was being announced as an AI MVP, and it was, I got a call from the state government. Okay, the state of Maharashtra government, and they literally we had a discussion on how the AI can be, leveraged or infused during the election times. So this things was not possible until I have been recognized as an AI MVP. They know me, they haven't known about me, but when they came to know that I am being awarded as an AI MVP, and I was the first MVP in AI in the state of Maharashtra. So that made the election commissioner to call me via some of the journalists, and then we had a meeting not once, twice, and even they gave a thank you letter on the government letter, kind of that you have already helped us and thank you for so and so things. So it's a really honor. It's not only your helping your organization being thing, but you're also helping your country, your citizen, and this is what I feel is the best part I got as being an MVP.
Wow, what a amazing example you have shared with us. And apart from this, us as a Microsoft resource, we always sought to provide opportunities to speak at different Microsoft conferences that happen across the year. That let it be Ignite, let it be Build, and whatever AI tours happening across, right? So all these benefits MVP gets all the way around. Now I'll quickly move to the next question by Nirav. That is, I have an experience in both AI platform and data platform. Can I go both or need to choose one? So I'll say you can go both. For you can apply so you can apply to maximum of two categories in the MVP program. So you can go both for the AI and data platform. But a quick advice for you, Nirav, is try to keep your activities very much around AI and data platform. When you will be submitting your activities after nomination, try to keep your activities around an AI and data platform. Maybe 50% AI, 50% data platform, or maybe 60/40. But that ratio doesn't really matter that much. But it shouldn't be like there are something, there are much more diversification that you are doing in terms of, while we are filing application. So because we are really looking to get your expertise, right? And that's the ideal way to find your. Now, we have another question from Avinash. I've been asking and answering multiple Microsoft technology questions on Stack Overflow. That contributions also can be considered for the MVP program. Absolutely, yes. That was the idea. That's where the this MVP program started from, right? That that was 30 that's the story of 31 years back, right? I'll say, right? That's how the MVP program got introduced, answering over public platforms, right? Debugging or helping people out there with their code and whatnot. So this is all about the MVP program, and this is what we typically consider in the MVP program. And maybe from a resource perspective, from a quick just perspective, Kasam sir and Navika, if you can quickly help with some of the activities that you feel could really help individual that they can look after, the type of activities that one should build in their career journey that could help eventually as an individual plus in the MBA program per se as well.
Okay, I will go first this time. It's fine.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, of course, your contributions in the Stack Overflow, as Lakshit mentioned, this is one of the most important contribution I can say. Keep this contribution active in different Microsoft forums also, wherein the many questions have been asked. Apart from this, you can write, you can have, it's not necessary that you should have your own blog. You can contribute as a part of LinkedIn articles. Um, when I say articles, again, it's not something like, there are many things and just you are putting it on in your own words. No, you should write your own uh, a live, you can say, a kind of problems which you are facing and how you resolved it, kind of stuff. That is being more, it should bring an impact to the readers when you contribute or having, or when you add something to over the as a part of articles or blogs. Try to um, be a speaker in the sense, not necessary you should be in a big hall stage. No, you can have your own, you can start your own a group of peer colleagues and come across some new topic and discuss it every Thursday, every Friday, anything as per your convenience. So important is make this contributions, but keep it in a consistent way. Don't try to do this first one article, then one speaking thing, and then jumping into something other. Don't be a kind of having a being a versatile sort of contributor. Stick to one, but keep your consistency in those things, and of course quality matters. Yeah.
Navika, would you like to add something up?
Yeah, no, I think Kasam has already listed the type of contributions that you can make in general. And only thing what I would like to add is that always think it from the other side, like from a viewer's perspective, right? So make your content in a way that even if you're answering a question or something, it should be beneficial for the one who is reading that, right? It should be benefiting the person, and in terms of his knowledge, it should be adding to whatever existing knowledge he has. So always whenever you curate your content, even if you're speaking at a technical event, you're making your deck, or you're contributing to some Stack Overflow or any of your a Q&A platform, I think that should be the whole idea, that it should be impactful and it should be beneficial at the same place. And then, yeah, I mean, you can just pave your journey the way, howsoever, whatever you feel convenient. If you feel that, okay, speaking engagement is something that you are more you know um, interested in, you can go in for that. Else, Q&A, I mean, you just have to sort of try to make impact by whatever knowledge you have to share your knowledge. It could be through any of these ways, and it should reach the audience. That's the whole idea behind that.
That's perfect. Now if anyone has any more questions, feel free to drop in the comment section. We have just 5 more minutes left for a couple of questions to answer. If you have any questions, feel free to put your questions in the comment section. But in any case, in a nutshell, if I'll just have to summarize the entire, in a quick summary for action items for you, if you are a student, if you are just exploring what are the possible ways, I'll say just try to share your learnings. The community MLSA program is already there. You can switch. And for any MLSA who is already watching this, because we have shared this across the MLSA program as well. So if you're an MLSA watching this and you aspire to be an MVP, we'll say stick to your projects, build more projects, and look after how technically you can contribute more to the community. and that's what really matters, for the MVP program, because these are actually the experts of their respective categories, right? And for someone who is looking after, who is a working professional and looking after, exploring the MVP program and the possible scenarios, and is not ready, and if you feel that you are not ready for the MVP circle, maybe you want to try out the MVP mentorship circles program that we just launched, right? The link is over the table. You can just sign up for the MVP mentorship circle program using the forms link, right? There are some just basic information that we are seeking from you, and we'll reach out to you eventually to explore more about your interest and whatnot. And lastly, it's more about the ready candidates. If you have been doing community work for so long and you feel that, yeah, this opportunity could be the right fit for you, and it can eventually help you build more, get more leverage in the community, get to reach to more audience and whatnot, I'll say just go and get your nomination. And if you feel that you do not have a nominator, but I will say just reach out to any one of us over LinkedIn. Would be very happy to nominate you, right? The LinkedIn ID has been shared over the comment section, so you can reach out to us over LinkedIn. Or maybe if you have any other MVP friend, you can reach out to them as well, or any Microsoft employee friend as well. You can reach out to them for the nomination per se as well, right? So it's pretty easy. So thank you so much, and I would really, a heartfelt thanks to both Kasam and Navika for taking out your time on a weekday during working hours, I'll say, for for this session and coming out, sharing your experience with us. And I always really admire, and you have been the I feel proud on myself when I say I have been looking after this program and working with amazing people like you.
Thank you so much. Oops.
So
Thank you,
kind. Thank you so much.
Lakshmi.
Yeah, thank you so
Thank you,
much,
everyone.
Lakshmi,
Bye.
for having me. Thank you so
Yeah,
much. Bye bye.
thank you so much, everyone. And but not the least, the survey we have shared. Survey link here. You can see the QR code. If you have any doubt, how you felt about the session. So this is more about the reactor survey. How you felt about the event. How was your experience? Just feel free to share any comments that you might have. So thank you everyone for joining in. It was lovely hosting you. Thank you everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.